Uh, Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Chris Cherry, and today is going to be Clearfly's unified billing overview. We're going to go over and cover everything in the portal itself associated with unified billing. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to hit the Ask Question button on the webinar, and we will answer them as fast as possible. Today, what we're going to cover today is going to be accessing the UB portal, what your first login is, what to expect. Then we'll go into branding, the company's name, or whether it's going to be Clearfly's, tracking the cost, who can do it, when should charges be activated, um, creating unified billing products, the best practices, names and descriptions for said products, and of course, adding products to the quotes themselves. And finally, activations and payments will go into what pending activations and deactivations are and where they're located, and of course, monthly payouts associated with your payout account. Um, Accessing the UB portal, right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to log into the Clearfly portal with your username password. Once you're into the actual portal itself, you can click the dashboard link underneath the unified billing. That's going to be the UB. That's going to bring you to your UB landing page. All your account info will be available at the very top, as you can see, and we'll go to that into a minute. If you don't see this option at all, just a tip, either your company isn't set up or you still need permission from UB within the portal to access it. And that's the case, please reach out to your actual channel managers or somebody in inside sales. Next, we have billing, or I'm sorry, not billing, branding, company logo file type. We have JPEG, PNG, or ESP. We'll accept all three of those. Jesus. You can brand your organization's invoices with your company's logos or Clearfly as the default. Clearfly will charge $1 fee per invoice and a processing fee of 7.5 on the MRC. The 7.5 will cover payment collections, the collections on taxes, the remittance of taxes, and any credit card processing. So that's kind of the value you get with what that fee is. Next, we'll be tracking costs. This will enable Clearfly to provide reports for you guys on the profitability of your UB products. When enabled, you have to provide the costs when quoting and adding the services to the existing customers. You'll enter the cost to those individual items that you're going to add to your catalog. That way, you know what everything costs individually. Clearfly is really the only one that gives you the option to generate those kind of reports. That way, you know what you've been selling them for and what the margins are. Next, we'll be creating the actual UB products themselves. We'll show you where to access it. It's going to be in the product tab, where you'll build your own personal catalog. You'll click the add button to decide if this is going to be a monthly or a recurring or a one-time fee. You'll fill in name and price of the products. You'll have to then describe said products in a little more detail. That way, it helps our tax experts properly assess what taxes are applicable for those products or services. Now, there's going to be five main more major product descriptions. They're going to be hardware, software, license, managed services, and labor. There will be some other smaller tax situations, and when we get to that, I'll show the drop down what those could be. And of course, you can always adjust the prices of the products as well. Same process for one-time services. Activations and payments were the last things we'll go over. We'll show you in the unified billing dashboard, whether if you have any pending activations, you'll have to obviously pay close attention to those activations. Important to note that the start billing date can be up to 180 days in the past. It can be for that day, or it can be up to 180 days into the future. Unified billing payments can be set for weekly and monthly, and I'll show you where that is in the actual payout account area. All right, let's get into it. All right, so now we've logged in to the actual UB dashboard. Right, just a quick review on some of the stuff that we have here. Very top, we have our quick links, right? Service verification and tickets. That way you can access those and see if you have any tickets that are out there associated with your account. Beneath that, we have our recent pages. They're all the last 10 places you guys have been, whether it was 2 days ago or 2 months ago, they'll be listed there. That way, if you have to resume work on a different day, you can get right back to where you were. At the center of the page, we have ABC Telecom. That's the name of our company for in the demo portal itself. Beneath that, we have our sales dashboard. Beneath that, we have our payouts, which we will review towards the end of this demo. And then in the center, the unified billing dashboard area. This is the area we're going to work most out of in this demo. So the access to UB, we're going to go ahead and click on the dashboard itself. Now we're actually in the UB dashboard landing page. While we're in here, right, we'll review what we have. At the very top is our company's name. Beneath that will be our unified billing code, sort of our account for the unified billing. And finally, beneath that, we have our channel manager. Our demo channel manager is Ricky Roma, but it'll have either Tina's or Melissa's or whoever your channel manager is. It'll be listed right there. If you put your cursor over it, their actual email will show up. That way you can email them and chat with them if you have questions on something. In the very next column, we have our payout account. Is the very first thing listed at the top. Beneath that, we have what our defaulted branding is. Right now, we have everything defaulted to show up as ABC Telecom on our bills. We have our branding fee, which is $1. Beneath that, we have our processing fee, which is 7.5%. And then we have some marketplace information. If you're going to be part of tomorrow's demo, we're doing the marketplace. We'll go in more depth what that is, and we'll briefly just look at it for a second here. But really, if you want to get further down the rabbit hole on how our marketplace works, please join our demo tomorrow. So in this portal, we are a participant in it. We have our markup associated with it. And then we have our track costs. Now, we can track costs on our UB products, and I would like to actually have that set up from the jump. So I'll go ahead, I will move my cursor over it. I'll select track costs, and then I'll go ahead and enable it. And then it'll make some changes down the road, and we'll be able to see what things costs when we build our branding and when we build our products. In the center, we have our tabs here. We have our account tab. Within here, we have the ability to manage our accounts. The next column is what the codes are, or what the SBNs, what we call it, basically the account numbers of said accounts. Next to that, we have our account names. Next, we have our reference. If there was any kind of references earlier when we were first building the account, whether it was like an inside salesperson that handled something or a reference to a partner that's given you the lead, etc., this is the area where those references would be listed. Our next column is our branding. We can sort by ABC Telecom or Clearfly, depending on what you want, and you can always change. You can turn this feature on and off through the management area, which I'll show you in a second. Next is invoiced, what we have invoiced out to the said customer. And it looks like we only have one, as Widgets has done that so far. And then finally, we have the associated fee, the processing fee associated with said accounts. Beneath that, we have our history. So anytime any kind of changes are made in here, it'll timestamp on the history itself. That way, you guys can see everything that happens. You know, if there's a change you didn't necessarily realize was there, it'll be stamped here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the branding. The branding tab will bring us to the area where we actually see our brand itself. ABC Telecom is the name of the company, obviously. So when you guys come aboard with Clearfly and you decide to elect to go the unified billing route, one of the first things that the channel manager and the inside sales member will ask you is a copy of your logo. So what we do is we take your logo, one of the approved file sizes or file types. We'll reshape the file to the size that fits on the bill itself. And then we'll put a small grayed out powered by Clearfly at the very bottom of that. That way, the customer knows, you know, that ABC Telecom is billing, but, you know, you're remitting all payments to Clearfly itself. It gives a good continuity on what's going on with the bill and where things have to go. When we get it, we'll upload it in here, and then it will always be available whenever you're quoting something or you already have an account out there. There'll always be options to change that. So if I'll go back to the account tab, I can go ahead and click Manage on here, right? So now I'm to my Unified Billing Authorization page. Um, we have all the basic information as before, and then I can actually change the branding, right? As I mentioned before, if we have a person already out there that's being branded or they're not, and you want to, I have the ability to change it here. So I'm going to move this to ABC Telecom. I'll update the branding. Now Dunder Mifflin, we'll see. I'll go back. Now Dunder Mifflin now is now branded as ABC Telecom. Any questions so far on branding? Nope. Okay. Next tab will be products, right? This is the core of this demo on how to build these products, how to get them onto the quote, and we'll go right into that right now. So we have a list of current products right now. The first column is the name of what the products are. The second column will be the charge type, whether it's recurring or one time, and then followed by the default price. That we have set up for the product, and then the default costs. We have none of the default costs set up in any of these, but this is something that we'll build, and I'll show you how to do that along the way. That way, again, you can see, the margins on what the products that you've made for your customer. So I'll go ahead and I'll click Add. Now it's going to walk me through. If you guys are familiar with the basic quoting process, it's a very, very similar idea, very ergonomical. It'll walk you through, it'll ask you everything you possibly need to know about this to create this product. The product that I'd like to create is going to be recurring. So I'll go ahead and I'll select the recurring option. I'm going to make a monthly service. I'm going to call it ABC Net Defender Cybersecurity, right? That's the name of the product. The next step is going to be what the description is. The description has to be obviously different from what the name of the product is, but this is going to help us determine what the proper taxes for the product is. Now, you will set the taxation, and internally, we'll get a notice on this, and then we'll go, okay, this matches, this all makes sense. We'll okay it to send it out to the customer. But you'll still have to at least select what the taxation category, what you think best describes it is. When I select that category, I have a couple of different options, right? As before, we mentioned the major five, then we have a few other ones, and if there's a discount associated, you would select that, or if it was something that was general sales tax, it would go that way. But this monthly managed cybersecurity service is going to be probably managed services. So I'll go ahead and select managed services, and that will match up, and then you guys will be verified, and we'll be able to push it out to the customer, everything fine. That makes sense. We'll go into what the default pricing is now. Now, this is what it will show up whenever you select it. Again, you'll be able to change it after, but we want to set a service default price for that monthly service. And I'm thinking $150 makes sense for that service we're offering. So now I have it in here. It's now showed up. We had 5 products before. We now have 6. We have ABC Net Defender Cybersecurity. The charge type reflects what I selected as. The default price now selects what I had it as, but we still don't have a default cost, and I want to make sure that's in there. So I'll go back to the product, select on it, and now up at the very top, I have options to change things. I have my default cost here, which I can select, but I also have the ability to change the product itself, the name. If I were to select on that, I can change the name. I can change the description on it. So I'll have that power to do that down the line. I'll go ahead and I'll select the default cost. And I'm going to say internally with the overhead, the cost of the labor, etc., everything all in told, this costs us about $90 a month to charge them the $150. So now I have margin set for this. Now I'll go back to my UB and my products. Now we have it set here. So now we have the products on everything, right? So now we have the product we made. Now we want to go into activations. So now we have one customer that has currently some activations going on. The customer is Duo LLC. We have 2 different items on there. We'll go ahead and select the account itself. Now we're in the SBN for the account, and we can see all the unified billing charges, what we have going on. Right now, nothing is set up to be billed. I can add a new charge if I wanted to. I have an option up at the very top, or I'm sorry, right here to download the account statements. I can go through all that stuff if I need to. But what I really want to do is I want to make sure we're going to bill this on time. So I'll go ahead and I'll select the monthly maintenance, the very first one, now I'm actually in it itself, what the actual product is. We can see what the rates are, everything, the costs. But we don't have a billing date. We just have a pending, right? And I want to go ahead and I want to start billing. So I'll select the start billing date, and now I can go ahead and select an effective date for it, right? Um, we can go ahead and go back up to 180 days. Like I said, I can go in the future. I can do it today. For demo purposes, I'm just going to select today. And now this will start to bill today, and they'll see this prorated on the effective new bill. As you can see, because you're doing it in between a billing, the proration will be listed here. So you know it's being prorated. The invoice is now being is pending. It will now reflect on the next invoice, and there'll be a proration plus a new charge when the customer gets it. Now let me go back to. All right, so now we have that pending activation. We still have one left, but it'll update it. We'll just leave that one there for right now. If we have any sort of deactivations, they'll show up here. It'll be customers that are disconnecting the services, that will still have your services still associated with it. So if somebody's porting the numbers out to a new carrier, this is where the deactivations will be, and you'll have to keep an eye on that and end billing when those dates happen. Our next tab here is going to be our late accounts. These accounts are set up for everybody that hasn't paid yet. That way you're aware of. Widgets Inc. is the company that hasn't paid right now. We got our account code in there. We have the amount that are late, which is going to include all the services. And then we have the unified late. That is essentially what the services that you guys are billing out to them. That way you're aware of that. That could affect commissions, of course. But that way, you know what's going on with this, and that gives you the opportunity to reach out to customer and talk to them about maybe what's going on. We have the disputes tab. This is in the event that a customer wants to dispute something. And the reality is, for as long as I've been here, it's been a couple of years now, I've never seen a dispute. I've never seen anybody have anything under here. But in the event that there is a dispute for something, this is where it will merge. All the information will be here for the account, what's being disputed, and you'll just, go through that process in the event that that happens. Our next tab, or more or less our final tab, is the marketplace. This gives you just a quick view of what it looks like. We'll go in more depth in what that is tomorrow. But honestly, it's something very important to be a part of. The marketplace is a really great way to leverage Clearfly to get products from manufacturers and service providers to be able to put that on to the bill, and at a good cost for you guys, and something you guys have a lot more control over. So please participate in that tomorrow if you have more interest in that. Our final tab is files. In the event you have to load any kind of file here, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just upload a file. The last thing I do want to cover is the payout account. So while I'm here in my dashboard at the very top, if you remember earlier, I said the payout account is the very top. I'll go ahead and select that. It's very important to have this set up because you obviously want to get paid out for everything. When we get into the payout account landing page, we have what our company name is, followed by our payout account code, any kind of account alias for whatever reasons, different names to it. We have our channel manager, right beneath that. We also have our tax ID number, right? It'll have that grayed out, but you have to move your cursor over it to make it visible. 1099, you can set it up that you automatically send a 1099 out to us. And of course, our tax classification, whether that's an LLC, an S Corp, a single proprietary, etc., whatever it is, that information will be in here. Our next column is going to be payout statuses and what the payout frequencies are going to be. You have the ability to change that. I'll go ahead and select that. So the reason I want to go over this is monthly payouts are created the first Monday of each month, okay? The monthly payout is always going to have your commission from your trunks. Weekly payouts can be created, but you have to use direct deposit or ACH. A weekly payout is going to be just for your UB items. If you do not have weekly selected, you will get paid on your UB items the same time, the first Monday of each month, that you do your commissions on the Clearfly trunks. So we'll just keep them the same. That way it all comes in at once. It just makes more sense that way. But for those who want to get paid weekly, this is the area where you have the option to change them. Beneath that, we have our payout method, whether it's direct deposit, etc., whether it's going to be ACH, we can change that sort of stuff. Our details are in there, payables to the mailing address. You'll have any kind of pending activations will show up there, available transactions, and what the next payout account is. Unfortunately, in our demo portal, this is a new company, so to speak, so we don't really have any of that stuff. However, we do see a recent payout that's in here. We can go in and click on the recent payout. We'll have some more information on it, when it was created, the method of payments, the amounts. We can see the transaction types. We can see the fees associated with it. So, okay, we have a breakdown a little bit. This is our direct commission. The amount is $102.49. There's no fees associated with commissions, so our net's going to be 102. We have our unified billing piece. We have $49.95. We have our fees associated with it. We have the 7.5%, and I believe we have $1 on it also for it. And then we have our net in it, right? And then we can see our payout transactions. So we have the payout 1, payout 2. We can see the invoices associated with it. We can click on that and go more in depth in what the invoice is for everything, the prorations, what the costs are going to be. The summary accounts are going to be there. Obviously, they're all the same as the billing accounts. But then we have the actual breakdown of everything right there available for you. You can download in detail. The summaries is the smaller version, but we'll actually download this itself. And then we can actually have everything breaking out, what the payouts are, the types are, the accounts associated. This is all downloadable, hard copy information for you guys, to see what everything costs. Don't save that. Okay. Yeah, any questions on what anybody have seen so far? Okay. All right. Well, all right. If you have any questions for anybody else here, please reach out to any of the contacts. You can reach out to Melissa, Charles, Rob, Tina. They're all the channel managers for the company, the inside sales team, Vinny, myself, and of course, Tom Hall. Thanks for participating.